Once upon a time, there was a young man named Hiro who was restless and troubled. He sought the guidance of a Zen master, hoping to find peace of mind. "How can I empty my mind?" Hiro asked. The master led Hiro to a small courtyard with a beautiful garden. In the center of the courtyard was a large stone basin filled to the brim with water. "Your task is to empty the basin," the master said. "You must transfer all the water from the basin to the smaller bowl without spilling a single drop." Hiro looked at the task before him and felt puzzled. The basin was large and heavy, and the smaller bowl was small and fragile. How could he possibly empty the basin without spilling any water? He began by scooping up a ladle full of water and pouring it into the smaller bowl. But as he poured, the water splashed over the sides of the bowl. He tried again, but the same thing happened. Hiro became increasingly frustrated. He tried everything he could think of, but he couldn't seem to empty the basin without spilling water. Finally, he gave up. He sat down on the ground and threw his hands up in defeat. "I can't do it," he said to the master. "It's impossible." The master smiled. "You are only unable to empty the basin because your mind is full," he said. "If you want to empty the basin, you must first empty your mind." Hiro didn't understand. "How can I empty my mind?" he asked. "Close your eyes and take a deep breath," the master said. "Focus on your breath and let go of all thoughts." Hiro closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He focused on his breath and tried to let go of all thoughts. But it was difficult. His mind was racing with thoughts about his work, his family, and his future. He tried again and again, but he couldn't seem to empty his mind. "It's no use," he said to the master. "I can't empty my mind." The master smiled. "It's not easy," he said. "But it's possible. Just keep practicing." Hiro continued to practice every day. At first, it was difficult, but over time, he became better at emptying his mind. One day, as he was sitting in meditation, he felt his mind become completely still. He was completely present in the moment, and all thoughts had disappeared. In that moment, he realized that he had finally emptied his mind. He opened his eyes and looked at the basin. He picked up the ladle and began to scoop up water. This time, as he poured the water into the smaller bowl, it flowed effortlessly. He didn't spill a single drop. He had finally emptied the basin. The Zen master smiled. "You see," he said. "When you empty your mind, anything is possible." Hiro smiled back. He knew that he had finally found the peace of mind he had been searching for. The story of Hiro teaches us that the key to a peaceful and fulfilling life is to empty our minds of all worries, attachments, and preconceptions. When we are able to empty our minds, we become open to new possibilities and we can experience the world with fresh eyes.